If you were only 20 failures away from reaching success, your dream goal, whatever that may be, how quickly would you fail? This video that I'm creating today is to expand on that topic and point out some of the things I know that you need in your life in order to reach that 20 failures or however many failures it is. See, the reason why this quote is something I like is because when you break it down, it's this. If it was certain, you would do it. The problem isn't the pain that you feel on the way doing it, preventing you from going there. The real problem is that you don't actually believe enough. You don't believe enough in yourself, in what you're doing, in your own capabilities to get through the pain. But here's the thing. The pain is not stopping you. In fact, it is protecting you. And when you realize this, you start to embrace the pain. And here's why the pain protects you instead of actually stops you. The pain protects you from the people who just kind of want it. The ones who just kind of want it. They kind of want to make money online. They kind of want to succeed. They kind of want to look good, to have a good body, but they don't really want it. And it goes back to the thing that we all know, we all understand, we've heard it before, but yet don't implement it, which is if anything was worth having, it would be extremely difficult to get. So then when you're on your way to getting it and it gets difficult, you're like, hey bro, why is it so hard? I thought it would be easier. Let's be real, bro. Let's keep it absolutely 100,000. You should be thankful for the pain, which leads me to something that your mind should always be saying. This refrain should be a brain tattoo. A brain tattoo is something that I understood from Robin Sharma. He made great books like the 5 a.m. Club and The Wealth That Money Can't Buy. 2 great books that I do recommend reading. And he talks about these brain tattoos as in, like, think of it in the literal sense, like a tattoo on your brain, something that's always there that never leaves, that's permanent. One of the great brain tattoos that I have is, how can I be grateful for this? When other people see challenges, I see opportunities. If something happens in business or in the market where I'm forced to shift, I don't see that as, oh, well, we have a problem because we have to shift things now. We have to move things. We have to change things. We have to test things out. And there's a risk. What I see is new challenges means a few things. It means a few things. 1, it means we're going in the right direction. And 2, it means new opportunities. You know why? Because it's simple. New levels, new devils. As you level up, as you get better, there are always going to be obstacles and new obstacles. You want to know something? If you feel comfortable at any point, it is a clear sign you're doing something wrong. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You need to always feel uncomfortable. That one feeling of uncomfortability, that thing that you don't want to do, that thing that feels a little bit too risky, you're not really sure of, that's exactly what you should go towards. People think that they need too much time where they are right now because they are in a scarcity mindset. The main thing that goes through people's minds is, well, I don't want to lose what I have right now. I don't want to lose what I have right now. And that's why they don't go after what they can go after. Let me tell you a very quick story about myself, actually. I started out in the Army from 16 to 21. I was in the Army. From 18 to around 22, I was also working as a carpenter, right? So those were, I guess, my 2 main things. And at 21, 22, my main goal and outlook on life was, the first one was to be a military firefighter, but that didn't work out because I needed to graduate with a physics credit, physics or a science or something, but I failed physics. So I had to take food science in order to pass high school, but food science wasn't recognized by the military as a science, so I couldn't actually get into it. Long story short, bro, I need to know like biology if I want to go be a firefighter. Hey, that's neither here nor there. Next. What I wanted to do was just max out carpentry. But I had already maxed out carpentry. I was making $29 an hour, which sounds really good, but in Canadian currency, in the current economy and economical climate, it was literally nothing. It was peanuts. It was peanuts. I could barely even pay all my bills. Like I'd go through the whole month and actually lose money, put more money on my credit card because that's how tough times were at that moment. And there was no real path to me making even more with carpentry. So I thought, well, why don't I try to become an electrician? I go to community college. I get my red seal after like 5 years, and then I'm able to make a little bit more money, $35 to maybe $40 an hour, and then also work my own jobs on the side too if I wanted to. Seems like something that's better, but it was only marginally better. And then I came across a YouTube video, and it was something about how a guy was making $30K per month, and his name was Drell, Drell. Right? And a lot of people that I've met have this one realization when they meet somebody or see somebody that's rich, and nothing against Drell at all. Nothing against him. He's a cool guy. I don't know him, obviously, but I watched a couple of his videos. And when I turned on this video, I saw this guy. He was like 20 years old. He had dreads, and he was, how do I say it? He was somebody that I would not consider would be into online business. He didn't seem to be someone that I would consider to be online business, someone that was overly or exceptionally intelligent. And of course, this is just my first impression. I don't know the guy. But the way he was speaking, the way he was carrying himself, I was like, dude, if this guy can do it, why couldn't I? And $30K per month? Are you kidding me? As someone making like $2 to $3 grand per month with 2 jobs working full time? Dude, say less. And then that's when it started. So I started with, here's my other mistake. I started with Instagram theme pages, trying to build up an Instagram page from scratch about something. I tried 2 different YouTube channels, one called The Psychology of Money and another one about like just me speaking about money and budgeting, even though I was completely broke. And I also tried affiliate marketing and ClickBank because I saw that he had like 6 different ways he was making money. So I was like, okay, I need to start making money in 6 different ways. I also tried to be a graphic designer. I tried so many things all at once, by the way. And I became, like, I don't believe in the word burnt out, but I was literally extremely burnt out because I was doing all of this crap and never made basically any money, any real money other than maybe a few bucks here and there. So I gave up for a little bit. Then I started from scratch and I started with copywriting, and the rest is history. But through that, I really learned this one lesson that I want to tell you, and that is that nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste. You remember all of those things that I talked about me starting, trying to start multiple YouTube channels, trying to start affiliate marketing and all those things? They all served me somehow, some way throughout my journey. They all taught me something that I needed in order to get there. But it would have been a waste if I would have given up. If I would have given up, they would have been a complete waste. But since I didn't give up, I was able to understand editing. I was the one who edited my first YouTube videos, and they were able to go on to get thousands of views later on. But that I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't know how to edit my own YouTube videos. If I didn't know how to upload on YouTube already, if I was completely didn't know anything about technology. I learned about affiliate marketing, and through that, I actually made me a better copywriter. I understood a little bit more about online business, making money online, all of it. Just moving forward, period, at all, is going to help you get to your goals in a way that you're not going to be able to understand until you're at the end. Until you're at the end and you look back, you're like, you know what? All that was awesome. I was reading a book on my Kindle just this morning, and it was about the founder of Stoicism. What was his name? Zeno? I think it was Zeno. Yes. The founder of Stoicism. And essentially, long story short, he was at sea and all of his wealth was with him, and his boat sunk and he lost everything that he had. And after that, a few years after that, he looked back at that moment and said, my shipwreck was one of my most successful days, something like that. And you really do see that in the big picture. No matter what bad happens short term, it always works out long term. Dude, I've learned so much from being a crypto investor. It is insane. Like, I feel like being invested in crypto, just, it prepares you for life. because you're going to be put in positions where stuff looks bleak. Like, I mean, it looks bleak. Like, we're down 80%. Stuff looks awful. If you would have taken out way back then, you would have made all this money. If you would have did all these things, you can exactly see, because hindsight's 2020, especially when it comes to something like crypto. But here's the thing, is that you can't beat yourself up. If you start beating yourself up, you are going to lose money, because then you're going to start doing this thing where, oh, it's going down, I'm going to sell. It's going up, I'm going to buy. And you're just going to get smoked. You're going to get smoked every single time. You know what the way to win is? Not even in crypto, but just in life, bro, is just diamond hands. That's what they call it when you ride the roller coaster. You ride the volatility, and you have a positive outlook for the long term in the end. Because the only way why you'd be scared or have a negative outcome or negative outlook is because you're looking at 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Bro, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to be laughing about your worst days. You're going to look back and laugh. And you're going to realize that these, what you're in right now, are the good old days before you even realize that they're the good old days. Because you want to know the hard truth? Is that I was in Las Vegas last month in February. I was in Las Vegas. I was there for a business event. And it was awesome, right? I met a lot of people, tons of millionaires, tons of decamillionaires, tons of people who are just starting as well. But I realized something that was hilarious, and it's that, dude, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody. Not the dude at $1 million a year, not the dude at $1 million a month, 10 million a year, not the dude at $100 million a year. They all don't know what they're doing, because guess what? The dude at $100 million a year wants to get to $1 billion, but they don't know how. They're trying different things. They're testing different things, but they don't know how. And the point at the bottom of this is that growing a business is stressful because things are breaking and you're reaching uncharted territory. Staying stagnant and hitting a wall is stressful because you want to grow, yet there's the risk and the fear of shrinking. A business failing and shrinking is stressful because you don't want to fail and shrink. You don't want the business to go to zero. And if you're losing out on money quarter to quarter, then that's a red flag. And that's something that you can be kind of scared of. So business in and of itself is stressful. It's supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be. It's how it is. No matter what you're doing. See, here's the biggest problem is that people think that if they were just making money, they'd be happy and all the problems would be gone. Dude, that's not how it's not even just in entrepreneurship, but I'll keep it in the realm of entrepreneurship right now. Entrepreneurship is a curse. It's a gift, but it's a curse to have an entrepreneurial spirit. And the reason that's why is because you can simply never be satisfied. You can never be satisfied with how much you know, how much you learn, all the knowledge that you have. You can just never be satisfied as well with how much money that you make. Even though you could have all the money in the world, you can never go broke, you can never go poor. You'll always worry about it. Always. If you're at $1 million a month, you're going to try to get to $10 million a month. And once you get to $10 million a month, you're going to try to get to $100 million a month. And you're going to be stressed until you do. And the real lesson that I want you to take away, if you're going to listen to anything that I say in this whole video, it's this. Don't defer your happiness or your enjoyment until you've made it. Because guess what? The mountain always moves. And as a young person, it's hard for most people to understand that. And I say that as a 25-year-old, as if I'm some whimsical guru who lives at the top of a mountain and I'm a monk and I'm freaking 90 years old. But it's really true. It is really true. And that's because everybody is stressing because they want to know the answers to things. How can I grow? How can I get to that goal? How can I get here? How can I get there? How can I stop shrinking in business? How can I start making money? And what they fail to see is that answers might solve today's problems. You think you want answers, but you don't, because answers solve today's problem, but principles are what solves problems indefinitely. They're what solves the problem for the whole future, which is why people look at videos on like mindset or like overall generalistic stuff and like, oh no, I don't need that. But they think they need, oh dude, if you go to a landing page and you click the landing page button and you change it green instead of red, this is going to increase your conversions. You're going to make more money. And then this fills them with dopamine. They're like, oh, I found the one little trick hack. Something that's extremely counterintuitive in life, but you need to understand as early as possible because it's going to save you so much time, money, and effort is this. make sure I'm still recording, is this. What people want and think they need and what people need are completely different things. Completely different things. And you're going to know this a lot in business, right? Because you have to understand what the market wants, but then you have to understand what's actually going to get the market results. What's actually going to get the market to what they want. They want the result, but the way that they think they get there isn't how they actually get there. And it's the same with just overall everyday people. And the main principle, as I was saying, that you want to take into life is this. It's just as simple as it gets. Everything you're good at right now, you were once terrible at. Everything you are good at right now, you were once terrible at. And it doesn't matter what it is. If you are really good at like Call of Duty, quick scoping, dude, you at one point you sucked at it, right? And I will obviously admit the obvious, which is it's way easier to learn how to quick scope. But the reason as to why isn't because quick scoping is easier than building a business or building the body of your dreams. The reason why is simply because it's fun. It is pretty fun. Play some Call of Duty with your boys, get in the party. But, dude, I'm telling you, business and whatever your goals are, whether that is like, health and fitness goals as well, can be just as, if not more fun. And I'm serious. You have fun in a party chatting crap with your homeboys while playing some Call of Duty. You do the same thing in business. You do the exact same thing. Y'all are talking about memes and hanging out and chilling and this girl you were talking to the other day and just life stories and everything. Business can be addictive, but you have to choose what you get addicted to. If you just float through life, you're going to get addicted to the most high dopamine crap. But if you don't have any video games in your house, you don't have any TV in your house, it just doesn't work. And all you can do is sit there and do business, or even fitness is another one as well, where you're just with your boys at the gym, hitting some bench press, getting some PRs. Dude, that's so fun. It's really up to you what type and what kind of life that you have to live, that you want to live. And what people don't understand is that happiness is relative. Happiness and dopamine are relative emotions, meaning the dude that's like on yachts in Miami, driving Lambos and all that, you'd think that, oh my God, that looks like a really happy life. He's literally just as, if not probably less, happy than you. Even if you are working a 9 to 5. The reason is because it's like a drug. Really, it's like a drug. Not in a negative way, but with a drug, you have to take more drugs over time in order to get the same result. And that's it. And when you don't have those drugs, you get withdrawals. So I would even argue that deriving pleasure and happiness from all of those external factors and trinkets is not actually the way you want to go. What you want to derive validation and dopamine from is just a couple things. One is doing your best and doing as hard as you can. Because when I don't do my best, I just don't feel good. I don't feel good. And that's the only reason why I care about money in business, is because the money reflects the decisions that I've made. So if for whatever reason the money were to dissipate, slow down over time, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe that's a sign I'm not doing my best. I'm not making the best decisions. Or I don't have the knowledge and skills that I need to learn. So I should learn more. I should learn more. And the reason as to why that is because people don't understand that money is not what they think it is. Money isn't about finding the best business, having the best idea, luck. Of course, it's about some of those things because there's risk to reward ratios in every single decision that you make. But it's really this. You will never go broke, poor, or hungry if you just have the skills. If you got lucky and did some stupid crypto meme coin pump and you made $10 million, this doesn't apply to you because you don't have the skills. You should be scared. You should be scared because you're going to put that 10 million in some other BS and it's going to dissipate and disappear over time. But if you actually just get really good at what you do, there's really no risk in anything that you do because even if everything goes to zero, you're still going to be able to prosper just fine. You'll still be okay. And when I say all of these things, I understand that a lot of it, some of it makes perfect sense. Some of it you might be sitting there thinking, this doesn't apply to me, or I don't agree. But let me share something with you that I learned along the way that has helped me make so many correct life decisions and is moving me in a path where it's exactly I want to go. I live what I would consider the best possible reality for a 25-year-old male, pretty much ever. And it's this, is that the best mentor advice at first seems wrong. Seems like it doesn't actually apply to you. It's not right. It doesn't make any sense. And the reason that is because if it seemed right, you'd already be doing it. If I gave you a piece of advice on your life or what to do, and you don't really agree with it, you're probably not going to agree with it. Otherwise, you'd already be going there. You'd already be doing it. Which is why you have to be like a sponge. You have to absorb information, and you have to realize that you don't know what you think you know. You really don't. You're not as smart as you think. I'm not as smart as I think. It might seem like I have it all figured out. I have a lot of things figured out, and I like that. But I still strive for more, as I always will. There's always going to be more things that I don't know. I'm willing to learn from anybody and everybody. Mentors, they're not there to necessarily give you the answers like you think. Like, of course, they give you some answers, they give you some guidance. But their primary objective is to find the blind spots in what you're doing and point them out for you. And a lot of the times, the reason as to why they're blind spots is because you just have heard something else from someone else. You thought something else, but that's what they're there for. And it brings me to another amazing thing that I want to talk about, which is hilarious. And is this. It's about how I was talking about things don't apply to you. Oh, that doesn't apply to me. He ain't talking about me right there. Nah, that's not really me. Is this. It's called the bad driver dilemma. Everybody knows that there are bad drivers out there. You ask anybody, oh my God, bro, the drivers out there, they're crazy. You do not want to get on the road with those drivers. Everybody sucks at driving. Everybody will tell you that, everybody, but nobody will admit that they are a bad driver. If you ask somebody, what percentage of people out there do you think are bad drivers? They might say 50 to 80%, probably. I think that they would say. But if you ask how many of them think that they are bad drivers, the percentages would be in the single digits, I assume. So it's really funny to see how that works out. And the reason as to why is because people just have those blind spots. They have those blind spots that they don't understand. They can't see it. They can't see it because they're in it. But one of the best pieces of advice I can give to you to really change your life is to actually take advice. Actually take advice. And the best place to look for that advice to take is look at all the cliches. Look at every single cliche thing that you've heard a ton of times and really analyze it in a new way that you haven't looked at it before. Because while most people think they need to learn new things, what they really need is to be reminded of the things that they already know. And I have a great example of this that I really like, and it's that my mentor, one of my mentors, has made over 100 million online. He's paid a mindset coach, I think he said 200K, and he has to fly from where he is, Miami, to somewhere else in the US, I believe, to actually go see him because he only does it in person. They don't do like Zoom calls. So he has to like hop on a plane, go to this mindset mentor that he paid 200K to already, and get mindset coaching. And the mindset mentor doesn't, what is there about mindset that you don't already know? Let's be real. But essentially my mentor goes to his coach with his issues, problems, thoughts, and then he gets told. And there's a lot of reasons as to why this works and why it makes perfect sense and why it wouldn't make any sense to people who are, beginners or have the beginner brain, because they think, oh, why would you pay 200K if you can just learn this for free online? Bruv, you, okay, I understand. I do. I understand. I fully understand. But my friend, people who pay attention. Think of it this way: the mentor that he paid 200K to has worked with some of the biggest names in the world. I can't remember who it is, but like some of the biggest athletes, biggest athletes, biggest actors, and some of the biggest business people in the world. And he's been paid much more than 200K before. Believe that. He's been paid millions to do what he does. So if you're going to listen to anybody, you should listen to him. And you have more confidence in what he's saying. And what he's saying will hit you harder because you paid him. Whereas if you go look up something for free, a lot of the accountability is going to be on you. And the reason why you're not where you want to be isn't because of the lack of information that you have. It's because of the lack of accountability. But the real reason as to why I was telling that story is simply because we need to be reminded of things a lot more than we need to be told new things. Again, what people want and what people could actually use and need to change their life are completely different things. And it's kind of funny because it's just easier than you think in the first place. What used to make a man ordinary now makes a man extraordinary. Like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Think about how literally impossible it was to even become wealthy in the first place. Just put it into perspective. What types of opportunities that you have? And we're just at the very beginning. It's mind-boggling to even think about. But we have such an opportunity in where we are right now, what we're doing right now, that is completely unheard of. And there are people who are just passing it up every single day. Why? It's too difficult. It's too hard. The world's just too distracted right now. Everybody would rather scroll on TikTok, smoke a joint, and have a piece of pizza than actually start an online business, start learning, read some books, and expand their knowledge. And I believe that if you were to implement all the things that I talked about today, you will be centuries, decades ahead of where you would otherwise be. This is all the things that I wish that I had, that I wish that I knew, that I wish someone had taught me as I was coming up. So don't take it lightly. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.